Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on properties of surds. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. Surds have a number of very important properties. They provide a guide when we are doing calculations. Property number 1, the square root of m times the square root of k equals the square root of mk. And here is the example. Square root of 2 by the square root of 7 equals the square root of 2 times 7, which is the square root of 14. Property 2, the square root of m over k equals the square root of m over the square root of k. And here's the example. The square root of 1 7/9. You change 1 7/9 into an improper fraction. So the square root of 16 over 9 is the square root of 16 over the square root of 9. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 9 is 3. And that's 1 1/3. Property 3, the square root of m all squared is m. Very straightforward. The square root of 5 all squared is 5. Property 4, the square root of m squared k equals m the square root of k. So the square root of 50 equals the square root of 25 by 2, which is the square root of 25 by the square root of 2, which is 5 the square root of 2, because the square root of 25 is 5. Property 5, m the square root of k times a the square root of b equals ma the square root of kb. And example 5, 3 the square root of 7 times 2 the square root of 5 is 6 the square root of 35. Property 6, m the square root of k plus a the square root of k is m plus a the square root of k. You're just adding like terms because the square root of k and the square root of k are like terms. So just the same as adding like terms. So it's 3 the square root of 5 plus 4 the square root of 5 is 7 the square root of 5. Property 7, 1 over the square root of m times the square root of m over the square root of m equals the square root of m over m. So basically, if we start off with 1 over the square root of m, if you multiply top and bottom by the square root of m, that's a way of rationalising the denominator. So the denominator becomes a rational number. And here's example 7, very straightforward, exactly the same as the property. Property 8, 1 over the square root of m plus the square root of n. If you multiply that by the square root of m minus the square root of n over the square root of m minus the square root of n, remember both the numerator and the denominator are the same, so the value of the initial fraction is still the same. We multiply through the numerator, we have the square root of m minus the square root of n. Now the product of a sum and difference, there it is there, that's the answer. So it's basically the product of a sum and a difference gives you the difference of two squares. So that gives you then a rational denominator. And here's the example, very straightforward. 1 over the square root of 5 minus the square root of 3. So we multiply top and bottom by the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3. That gives us the numerator. Now the product of a sum and a difference gives us a difference of two squares. Because the square root of 5 all squared is 5, the square root of 3 all squared is 3. 5 minus 3 gives you 2. And the last property, m plus the square root of n equals a plus the square root of b. So if you have that case, then m equals a and n equals b. And the example, if 7 plus the square root of 3 equals m plus the square root of n, then m equals 7 and n equals 3. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle, what is the meaning of the following? Sugar cube. Bit tricky, but have a think about it. I think you'll understand it. Here are the answers to the quick quiz. Please check through the video at any time. If you found this video useful, please subscribe on the next slide. You will receive a notification when the next video is available. Please share with your friends. Hope to see you next lesson.